Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yashala, Koholoimla, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakhahakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. About the Spirit taught us His beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M that's out here sincerely keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. Jachanan the Waf, just coming at you with another quick lesson. Pray that it's edifying by the Spirit. And wanted to touch on Kyrie Irving, of course. He's replying to the Brittney Griner hookup, where supposedly she's been released from the Russian prison over there. Now, other stories. Now I'm going into the Kyrie one, but if you just read up on the particular one where it's just about her and her being released, and you look at the comments, these so-called white people are pissed. Because they have it's other people over in Russia that have been there a lot longer in prison that they've been fighting to get out of there, for a long time. So by them trading a Russian's arms dealer, I think is I think it was a Russian arms dealer. So they're trading off basically a guy that can go right over to Russia or head to Ukraine and help out Russia in this war, and she's going to come back here and do what? She's going to parade around. She'll probably get a book deal. How was it in there? Of course, these so-called white people, they say she's un-American because I think she took the knee, or, she's, certain stuff that she done, I think, during the Olympics or something. I'm not exactly sure, but, they're looking at her as if she's un-American for, taking a stance for so-called injustices of black people or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's to be looked up. You can look that up if you want to. But this right here could carry a little backlash for Kyrie. The same way that they're talking about the anti-Semitism with him. Just the way that he worded this particular. Now, he's being celebratory, so to speak, as far as like, hey, we're glad she's back, but or, she's coming home or whatever. But the word that he used is, guess what the word is that I'm thinking, with the way that the world is today, with cancel culture and you're not using the correct pronouns, he called her a sister, which, of course, she's playing the male role in supposedly their marriage, which that could carry some backlash with the LGBTQ community. So we'll see, but let me first off start with a scripture. Because Yahweh is not the author of confusion, because all this shit is confusing as hell. But you would trade off an arms dealer for somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you know what? This also, see, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Matter of fact, let me get that first. No, well, matter of fact, let's get the first one. Author of confusion. But see, Joe Biden and them, it just went through, I think where they just passed that same-sex marriage act or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So Brittney Griner coming home just before Christmas is all perfect publicity, all perfect political publicity towards, the Democrats and them winning the House and all this other stuff. So, see, you have to realize who you're dealing with here, man. You're dealing with the so-called white man, and he's a cunning hunter. He understands how to get down. This is 1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. So the Lord is not the author of confusion, because you have even pastors that believe in the LGBTQ movement. The Lord is not dealing with that. The Lord's rules and regulations, his law, statutes, and commandments do not change. They are there and they will never change. The word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will always be the same. There's no, well, that was in the past, this is the future. No, the Lord is the same, man. You see, the scriptures even talks about him being the same and that he changed not. Let me see if I can find that actually. It's Malachi 3:6. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Lord, he changes not, man. Don't think that just because a person won't get stoned down, like how they did in the ancient days, that the Lord won't put you to death. So we'll see what she acts like when she comes back. They could have broke her a little bit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But of course, these Democrats, they're going to put her on a high scale to move their agenda, because what they want is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They want you to believe in this movement of the alphabet people, because they don't want you to reproduce. They don't want you women to be women and have children. They don't want you men to be men and have sex with women to produce children. They want to stagnate you right at the point that you are. And basically, I mean, they just want to pull a genocide on you. But anyway, let's get some of this Kyrie real quick. Because like I said, again, they're probably, who knows? We'll see. Because, you know, these LGBTQ people, they're kind of, they go hard about, they go hard in the paint, boy, about their agenda, man. And they'll be looking at him like, sister, you should be saying our brother. But let's get it. Let's see.
You guys being a part of something special here. This is the start of it. And we want to make sure that you guys understand we cannot do this alone. We need you on every single night participating. Make sure you're included in this team. The goal of ours, going after a championship. And with all that being said, I appreciate us being able to share this floor together, all of us as brothers. But the big picture that's going on in the world is free our sister, Brittney Griner. Please, police, do your job. Everybody do your job. Please bring our sister home. And we wouldn't be doing our jobs to the best of our ability if we didn't stand on what we believe in. So we want to thank you to the 10th season in Brooklyn. This is going to be something special.
Okay, and there you have it. Now, why did he have to bring that up? That could have been part of the stipulations that, you know, as far as, you know, because they gave him a 6-step hookup to even come back to the NBA. You know, because, like, why did he have to even mention that? Why is it all of a sudden you seeing a press conference from this dude in the middle of the floor in Brooklyn with all the stuff that's been going on? See, that's the reason why, you know, let me get that 2 Corinthians 2:11. So you have to realize the type of man that you're dealing with. You're dealing with Esau Edom. And this guy Kyrie is all over the place, because if he really believed in family, if he really believed in the things that, some of the things that when he posted that link to Hebrews to Negroes, one of the very first thoughts that should have been on his mind is, if not any other thoughts, first off, you know, the thoughts of, you know, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, but family structure. You see, he comes up, he sits at the podium with his son and daughter, you know, as if he's a family man. But you're giving props to, or you're pushing. Now, they're not going to say that, okay, why are you promoting Brittney Griner? Why are you promoting someone that's basically against reproduction? Because she's not going to have no children. She's not capable of producing no children with no wife. So are they going to say, you know, Kyrie, why are you promoting that? No, they're going to praise him for that. Why? Because that's the agenda of the so-called white man, to keep you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans just fucking, he just wants to keep you asleep. You think that the people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, are going to be like, hey, man, that's anti our people. You're promoting somebody that doesn't even want to reproduce. They're not going to do that, because this is right down their alley. This is what they want you entertainers for. This is what they want the basketball players and people. You know, this place has a TV show called American Idols. They want you looking up to people like this because, you know, they have somewhat of a say because they're in the public's eye, so to speak. They're not going to, you know, I mean, it's hypocritical. It's hypocritical. But like I said, again, they may come at him and be like, you know, why are you saying sister? You should be saying we should be bringing our brother home. This is how confused these people are. This is how confused Americans are, man. And the majority of these people, really, in reality, it's the so-called white race. Those are the ones that you see when you look at TV and you see the ones that's crowding around and doing all this goddamn marching. It's really them. But they'll put the so-called black face on it. See, that's why, let me get this 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. See, when you come into this truth and the Lord, he's going to open you up and show you things. And first thing one of the main things he's gonna show you is that you have enemies. And when you're in a war, see, we're enlisted in a war. We're enlisted as his soldiers. And when you're in a war and you're enlisted as soldiers, one of the main things your main commander is going to tell you is about your enemies. He's going to show you about your enemies. He's going to tell you, hey, look, he's like this. He's like that. He gets down like this. He doesn't like this. He likes this. He wants you to do this so he can counter this. You know, the Lord is going to show you all those things. And how does he show you that? Through the scriptures, through his word. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? That's Job 9:24. So once you get to looking at that, you're like, well, all right, well, where and who is he? Who is he then? How you can tell who the enemy is he's going to be doing everything opposite of what the Lord said to do. This man pushes. Joe Biden, hey, they went out and they voted for this guy. Joe Biden came right in, put his hands on that big ass Bible, his big ass 128-year-old family Bible. He swore in. And the first thing he got going doing was pushing the alphabet shit, man. That's I mean, that's what he done. Look at all the people that he have in his administration. He has I'm not going to even get into it. I want to keep it classy. But look at his administration. Look at the people that he hired. He hired a person that's telling 8-year-olds they should be able to get puberty blockers without their parents' permission. So they've been pushing real hard. And matter of fact, let's get just like the days of Noah. Because you're living in the last days. If you can't see that we're living in the last days with the type of stuff that's going on, the Lord spoke of wars, rumors of wars, the pestilence, the famines, the earthquakes in diverse places. You know, he said to measure thou the time diligently in itself. What are we measuring? We're measuring what the Lord told us to watch out for. That's the reason why we look at the news and see something like this. It may be small as far as Kyrie speaking out like that, but we look at it through a spiritual lens. Why is it that this man has been quiet? First off, they shut his ass down. Then this is what you got to say when you come back and really just start talking. You're representing now you don't went from this dude is all over the place, man. But the prophets been saying this. The apostles been saying this all along. Kyrie, look, he opened up a door to a lot of Israelites basically waking up and kind of looking into this truth. You know, a lot of people, millions of people, ain't no telling what the numbers could be, larger than what we think. But he opened that door to say to people to see, all right, well, what's this movie about? And that was the Lord, man, is mighty in his works, man. He's wondrous in his works. And he can get down just like that with something that simple. Use somebody just like that and send that nigga right into bug out mode again. Because Kyrie, he is bugged all out, man. This dude is all over the place. This dude, he don't know what he representing. He representing every damn thing. Then he says that we're all one people. We're all, and I don't, because you can't serve God and mammon. And his God is that money, man. Straight up. Okay, but let me see here. Let's get the account. Let's get the account in Luke. Just like in the days of Noah, or just like in the days of Lot. That's really what I wanted to get. Well, we can start at verse 26. Luke 17:26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise, also it was in the days of Lot. They did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. And that's that. Hey, we're living in those days and times. See, she's going to be able to come home. It's like 2 weeks before Christmas. She's going to be able to go shopping and, who knows how it may go. Her ass may be distraught from being over there, and she, it may never be the same mind wise. Hey, but if anything, I'm sure she done a lot of praying. And if she did, We pretty much know who she was praying to. But you know what? She could have heard about the Hebrew Israelites. I'm pretty certain she know about the Hebrew Israelites. She probably knows that she's a Hebrew Israelite. She probably had time to sit, she had plenty of time to sit there for these past 10 months, almost a year, and contemplate like, you know what? I've been living bold, if she had any sense, you know what I'm saying? I've been living a life of sin. What I'm doing is wrong. This union that I have with this woman, or this relationship I have with this woman, is not right. She could know those names. She could have been calling on those names, Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai, if you get me out of here, because people make oaths, to the Lord, and they keep them sometimes they don't. But I'm just using an example. She could have said, hey, look, Lord, whoever you are, the true and living God, you know how people get, because she may not even, if you get me out of this, whatever. You know how people, they give these prayers when their lives are just flashing before them. Because 10 years over there, that would have wrecked everything that she ever worked for, or now she can possibly play some basketball again if she ain't all bugged all out of her fucking mind. But if she was working in those penal colonies, she ought to be stronger than she ever was. But anyway, you get the point. But we're living in these last days, and it's a lot of that push of that push of the spirit of Sodom, that spirit of Egypt, man, in this place. And it's being pushed on our people real strong, because I'm telling you, why in the hell, out of everything that Kyrie Irving could say, why is it that he's standing in the middle of a court and he made it his business to mention that after what he said was said? He was just doing like a little announcement. Then all of a sudden you break from that to say, hey, yeah, let's bring our sister home. Man, I'm telling you, these LGBTQ people will be all over his head. Like you're misusing pronouns, and look at you. You're anti-LG. Now he got an anti-LGBTQ problem to go along with the anti-Semitism problem. But you know what? They won't, they're not going to televise it as much, even if that were the case. You know why? Because this is the way that they want our people to live. They want you to live that way. Because I'm telling you, there's no freaking way. No way. Let me see. Matter of fact, Salakia, bear with me one sec. Let's. Okay, so Salakia, I found it. Brittney Griner, live updates. WNBA star swapped for notorious Russian arm dealer. Dude, aren't you at war with these people? See, this is what I'm talking about, though. But this is what they'll do. Let's get it.
Release of Brittney Griner.
Horrible circumstances. Brittney will soon be back in the arms of her loved ones, and she should have been there all along. This is a day we've worked toward for a long time. We never stopped pushing for her release. It took painstaking and intense negotiations, and I want to thank all the hard-working public servants across my administration who worked tirelessly to secure her release. I also want to thank the UAE for helping us facilitate Brittney's return, because that's where she landed. These past few months have been hell for Brittney and for Charlie and her entire family and all her teammates back home. People all across the country have learned about Brittney's story, advocated for her release, stood with her throughout this terrible ordeal. And I know that support meant a lot to her family. I'm glad to be able to say that Brittney's in good spirits. She's relieved to finally be heading home. And the fact remains that she's lost months of her life, experienced a needless trauma, and she deserves space, privacy, and time with her loved ones to recover and heal from her time being.
Okay. No need to go any further into it, but there you have it. He's standing there with her wife, supposedly. Kamala, you don't never see her ass. She back there snickering like the Joker, like as usual. Like she's just a riddle me this, riddle me that, man. It just look like a Batman character. You see, you don't ever see her. And you got this is what they push. Here you go. You got the nigga woman standing there. I'm so glad to have my husband back, basically. But see, this is what they push. So you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, y'all got to wake up and smell the coffee. This man wants to destroy you. The so-called white man, he wants to completely destroy you as a race. And this is one of his tactics, man. This is one of his tactics. You tell me, how is it that this man care about your race when he's number one for you to have abortions? He's fighting for you to abort your kids, right? Number two, he's fighting for you to be in a relationship that can produce no children. So you trying to tell, just use common sense. This man don't want you to live. This shit that he's pulling, if this was to carry on for a few more a generation or so more, it's just gonna, see, they know that they're actually dying out. First off, the so-called white man, they're dying off quicker than they're being born. And they're going to use tactics like this. They act as if they're with you. That's why the scriptures talks about, let me get that real quick. This is why the scripture says never trust thine enemy, man. He's just standing there crouching, humbling himself as if he cares so much about you Negroes, man. And y'all went out and voted for this clown. That's the thing, man. Let's go back, man. Ecclesiasticus 12, also known as the Book of Sirach. 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. See, this is what Joe Biden is standing there doing. He's humbling himself. He's crouching. He's making it seem as if we've all been praying for this. No, the fuck we haven't been. And I'm going to tell you, like I said, when I was reading it in another story and you go into the comments, man, these so-called white people, they are tight about this shit. They are heated about you bringing this ball player back as opposed to the other man that's supposedly been over there as a spy. I think he's from Michigan. He's been over there for like 5 years in prison, and they've been fighting to get him back for a long time. Here, all of a sudden, she's only done 10 months in prison, and you trade arms dealer for her? Arms dealer? We ain't talking about somebody that done some crime that was close to her crime. Oh yeah, we caught him at the airport. He had, a couple of ounces of cocaine. Well, it's not like, okay, we caught him with a pound of weed. We caught him with a half pound of, you know what I'm saying? The crime is not even similar, but that lets you know this is all political, man, when it comes to the Democrats, man. And these Republicans, it's getting more and more closer to a civil war, more of a push to make the people fight against each other. And that's all by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's will, too, man, because this place has to be separated. That's a part of that's a part of the prophecies. Going into Matthew 12 and 25, I think that is a nation divided, a kingdom divided, a family divided cannot stand. And this place is all cut up into pieces, man. But it says, let me get that again. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his roughs have not been altogether wiped away. That is a direct demand, a direct commandment from the Lord to not trust this man, to take heed, to beware of him. But what do Jay go out and do? They go out, man, and they hug this motherfucker, man. They vote for him. They love him. Because see, the so-called nigga woman, she is just wicked as hell. They went out and voted for this man in droves. You know why? Mainly because they can continue to have abortions, to kill off their nation of people, which this man is promoting. But they don't see it. They don't see it. This man is pushing for the very two top things that would knock you Negroes off, man, forever. He's promoting that you first off, you abort your babies. And they want especially for them to be boys, because they understand that the men carry on a nation. This man fought. These people are fighting tooth and nail for you to kill your next generation, to bring forth your next generation. That don't say nothing to you? God damn, man. Hey, Jake, but our people, let me get that. Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man. And I don't want to keep this long, man, but it's just like, golly, Jake gotta wake up, man. A lot of our people are waking up. Don't get me wrong. It's just aggravating and it's vexing. But these things must happen, man. These things must come to pass before before our Lord's coming. But this is also an indicator that we are almost at the end, man. We are there. Our Lord will be making that return soon, man. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. They're rejecting the fact that the men are on the highways and byways telling them, hey, look, this so-called white man is your enemy. They're rejecting that knowledge. They don't want to hear it. The so-called white man is producing them, is giving them food stamps. He's giving them their Section 8, their housing, everything cheaper. All that shit is going to come to an end, though. So they trust in this man. This man has wrecked your whole damn life. This man is the one that told you didn't need a man. Now, all of a sudden, hey, it's women out here struggling hard as hell right now. Because why? That I don't need a man syndrome. Now men done came to a point where it's like, now women actually need men. And men are like, nope, fuck that. I don't give a fuck. Hey, look, you good for some box and that's it. I'll throw you a couple of dollars, on your nightstand. You know what I'm saying? That was a good night of session, good night of sex with you. But no, I'm not about to dig in with you and take care of you and 3, 4, 5, 6 other niggas' kids, man, while you struggling, because the money is not stretching like how it used to, man. It says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. See? And this is the reason why our kids are the way that they are, the ones that are making it to be born. You know what I'm saying? Because this man has really pushed a campaign on you so-called blacks, especially the so-called black woman. If you can make it out of her stomach, hey, that's the number one threat to the so-called black man, is making it out of his mama's stomach, man, without her going somewhere and aborting his ass, having somebody push something off into her and twisting him out of there, man. Just disgusting, man. And see, like I said, hey, it's going to be some bad times for you women, because I know plenty of women that it's not going well for them. It is not going well for them. I see them all the time. I know a few, out here. I need a second job. I need a third job. Oh, okay. Oh, yay. Do your thing. Because you out here, you living a life that's beyond you. The so-called white man has set you up to live a life that's beyond you. Now he's got you out here where, he wants you to be dudes now. You know what I'm saying? He done turned you into, he's just giving you a bridge or a gateway to being a guy. Though you have women out here, they're feminine. They're women still. But guess what? She's out here working 2 jobs, slaving, trying to keep a roof over her head. She's got to do everything. She's got to get up, get the children together for school. She got to do hair. She's got to take them to daycare. She got to pick them up. She don't have no time for nothing, not even her damn self. You know who gave you that lifestyle? The so-called white man. But what was you saying all along? Oh, I don't need no man. I'm good. The reason why you was able to say that is because the so-called white man was producing you with everything that you need. Now, I'm telling you, I'm seeing it. This is an ongoing thing in America right now. Men are like, fuck you women. You got some simps that's out here. But hell, even the simps are like, man, fuck you women. A lot of them are starting to see, like, man, it ain't even worth it. It's just all work, no reward. All work, no reward, man. Jake out here, he's better off being by himself. Jake out here got to still wash clothes. He got to cook his own fucking food. He's got to clean up. But in the meanwhile, she's bouncing on him for sex whenever she wanted. And he's giving her money. He's paying bills and shit. So she's got the best of both worlds. And Jake is starting to wake up and be like, you know what? Shit, I can hold on to my own fucking money. I'm doing the other shit myself anyway. I might as well just go ahead and just get me some box here and there every now and then. Double strap up, make sure they don't leave no kids with this bitch. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the lesson is going a little bit, but hey, that's the spirit, man. This is what's going on. This so-called white man, he has destroyed us as a family. This is the man that causes discord among brethren. And that's one of the main things that the Lord hates, according to Proverbs chapter 6. The naughty man. He causes discord among brethren. He puts the woman against the man. He puts the older against the younger. He puts the light skin against the dark skin. He knows how to do it. He put the poor against the rich. In the meanwhile, he's kicked back laughing because he don't have to fight with you because he's done produced it where you can fight against yourself. He's straight. And he can make money off you fighting against yourself. But anyway, it's another lesson in itself. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of touch on this Kyrie thing, because out of everything that he could have talked about or said, he never even had to even mention this. He didn't have to say anything about this at all. He didn't have to say anything about that lady at all. Nobody even asked him. So that kind of makes you think, like, you know, they probably pulled him to the side like, hey, yeah, you know, because all these people are insiders, man. All these people are juicers. This nigga is no different than Charles Barkley or Shaq. They all in it together, man. These are the people that are a part of your boule. The so-called blacks that have some money that influence the rest of you poor niggas. They give these niggas their assignment. Hey, you go do this, you go do this, you go do this. They're basically all actors. You go do this, go do that. If you want to keep this money, you want to keep on living this lifestyle that you living, right? You got kids, you got a wife, you better think about yourself. Then they'll give this nigga a script to play, and he'll go and play it, man. See, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We understand how this man gets down. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but you have to always question this man's logic, man, because he's capable of anything. And generally, he runs out of the same playbook. You know, he's not very creative. He's been running out of the same playbook for so long, and it's been working for so long. He doesn't have to really do anything else. But now people are starting to catch on like, hold on, motherfucker, you lying. Something not right about what you're saying. People are starting to check into it. But like I said again, people are not happy. If I'm, you'll see, because the story is pretty fairly new. But if you go into these comment boards, and you're going to see these so-called white people are pissed that you will release a ball player over somebody else that's been in jail for 5 years. They done been over there, and basically they're saying that this man, because I've been on that story for a long time. I think he's been over there for about 5 years. He supposedly had been a spy. And, you know, from the, I don't know what the evidence was. They didn't have a lot of evidence from what I've seen. But meanwhile, that would have been more of a trade. That guy being there on a spy level and a Russian arm dealers here in America. You think that would have been more of a, I mean, it's just common sense. I mean, come on. So we know what it's really about. I'm telling you, these damn Democrats, they want you, your boy Joe Biden, he's looking to go another 4 years, man. They've discredited the shit out of Trump. They finally got his tax hookups. They done grabbed up on I think his lawyers, man. It's all kinds of shit going on with him. And they still haven't arrested this guy. They just found 2 more classified top secret articles in his property just recently here. I think today or yesterday it was. So they've got that MAGA, that MAGA. They like, hey, look, we need 4 more years in here to do our thing. And they're going to get it. It's not going to, you know, if this place lasts that long. We're praying for the hastening of our Lord, though. We're praying that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, will go ahead and destroy this place, man. We're ready to get the fuck out of here. Because there's nothing to it, man. Nothing to it. This place is terrible. It's trash. The food trash, air trash, people trash, the lifestyle's trash. It's just like, what are we here for? Just to get up and just go clock in and work for this white man and play his squid games and shit? Come on, man. It's time to get out of here, man. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwam Yashallah.